Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we present you 50 beautiful retro historical photos. We hope you will appreciate our work. Write your comment and click the subscribe button. Enjoy the show, and here we go. Irresistible Sophia Loren, beautiful 1952 photo shoot. Savannah, Georgia, circa 1910. A bovinmobile. Surf bathing is the caption for this circa 1905 photo taken somewhere along the Atlantic coast. Circa 1905. Golf College Arms Hotel, DeLand, Florida. Back before golf carts, there was the golf train. July 1959. Actor Charlton Heston at the site of his house being constructed in Coldwater Canyon, a hillside community above Beverly Hills. Includes Heston inspecting construction and wiring, playing with son Fraser, looking at house plans with wife Lydia. New Haven, Connecticut, circa 1905. Divinity School, Yale University. March 1941. Norfolk, Virginia. A miscellany of pictures in overcrowded Navy towns. Corridor and public school. January 1911. South Pittston, Pennsylvania. A view of the Pennsylvania breaker. Breaker boys remove rocks and other debris from the coal by hand as it passes beneath them. The dust is so dense at times as to obscure the view and penetrates the utmost recesses of the boys' lungs. January 1963. Lincoln convertible on Snow Road. From somewhere in the Sierras comes this agthochrome of Don Cox's red 1957 Lincoln Premier against a backdrop of snow white and sky blue. August 1941. Main Street of Hibbing, Minnesota. May 1943. Beaumont, Texas. Woman worker at the International Creosoting Plant. This work was formerly done by men. In a décolleté silk evening dress, Elizabeth Taylor sits for photographer Philippe Halsman. The former child star will be 17 next week. Life magazine. February 21, 1949. Photo taken in New York, October 1948. Library of Congress Prints Photographs Division. September 1940. St. Mary's County, Maryland. Mrs. Eugene Smith, FSA borrower, canning string beans. April 1939. Part of Florida home and wealthy residential section. Miami Beach, Florida. August 1941. Entering Duluth, Minnesota. August 6, 1917. 10-year-old picker on Gildersleeve Tobacco Farm. Gildersleeve, Connecticut. August 1941. Pine Camp Military Area, near Watertown, New York. Removal of farm families and relocation in new sections with the aid of the New York Defense Relocation Corporation. 2 of the children of Mr. Earl J. Brown helping to get the last few belongings out of their farm in the Pine Camp expansion area. Circa 1911. The College Green, Burlington, Vermont. March 1941. Norfolk, Virginia. Traffic on Bainbridge Boulevard. Dearborn, Michigan. 1963 Ford Fairlane 2-door sedan. Color transparency from the Ford Motor Company Photographic Archive. English glamorous model Debbie Ashby in a beach photo shoot 1987. May 12, 1942. William S. Paley, residence in Manhasset, Long Island, New York. Library telephone table. April 1939. Miami Beach, Florida. Home in a wealthy residential section. January 1939. Migratory packing house workers' child playing school near Canal Point, Florida. January 1911. Group of boys working in number 9 breaker. Pennsylvania Coal Company, Hughestown Borough, Pittston, Pennsylvania. Smallest is Sam Beloma, Pine Street. July 1940. Negroes from Florida and Georgia travel by car and truck, following the crops northward. The company store at Camden, North Carolina, where migrants buy anything from clothing to Coca-Colas. January 1939. Migratory laborers camp. Single room cabin costs $2.50, double room $4 per week. Water hauled, 55 cents for 55-gallon tank. Toilet for about 150 people. Near Belle Glade, Florida. August 1941. Residential section. Hibbing, Minnesota. Clinton Engineer Works, Oak Ridge, Tennessee, 1944. Calitron girls Gladys Owens, foreground, one of the workers monitoring calitron mass spectrometers at the Y12 uranium isotope separation and enrichment plant. January 1964. Carson City, Nevada. The latest dispatch from Don Cox takes us to the intersection of Carson and Spear, home of the Nugget Casino. July 1944. New York. Under the 3rd Avenue IRT elevated train line, looking north at East 58th Street. July 1940. Near Shawboro, North Carolina. Group of Florida migrants on their way to Cranberry, i.e., Cranberry, New Jersey, to pick potatoes. November 1940. View of Derby, Connecticut, from the Ansonia side of the Naugatuck River. June 13, 1962. Helene Alexander at her home in Palm Springs, California, with Mrs. Zeppo Marks. Kodachrome by Kel Bernstein for the Look magazine assignment. Promised land for millions of migrating Americans, California's way out way of life. November 1940. Daughter of day laborer. Scioto Marshes, Hardin County, Ohio. Photos show poorly housed and poorly clad workers. Wooden shacks. September 1941. Transport truck and service station. Scottsbluff, Nebraska. (1905). A chestnut vendor, Baltimore, Maryland. Syracuse, New York, circa 1905. New York Central Railroad Depot. January 1939. Migrant packing house workers living quarters. Belle Glade, Florida. (1908). Keeler's Hotel, Albany, New York. Detroit, circa 1916. Griswold Street from Capitol Park. (1904). Rutland, Vermont. Dorr Place, The Maples, Dorr Road. Residence of Mrs. Julia C.R. Dorr, noted author and poet. Sweet Jane Mansfield at Home, 1964. New York circa 1900. Italian bread peddlers, Mulberry Street. June 1906. Ariel Mountaineer, New York to San Francisco and back. Percy McGargle and David Fassett at Huber's Hotel on 162nd Street in the Bronx at the end of their 10-month, 11,000-mile trip in a 16-horsepower REO Ransom E. Olds touring car. July 1940. Negroes from Florida and Georgia who travel by car and truck, following the potato crop northward. Migratory agricultural worker has his supper, a nickel pie and a glass of milk, at the railroad crossing at Camden, North Carolina. April 1941. Mr. J. H. Parham, barber and notary public, in his shop in Central Hatchie, Heard County, Georgia. April 1936. Housing conditions in crowded parts of Milwaukee. Housing under Wisconsin Avenue Viaduct. December 28, 1947. Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Basketball. Elks Club vs. Maryville at Oak Ridge. Bonus photo for you, a beautiful retro woman. American model Danny Asha, 1988. This is the end of our performance. We hope you enjoyed it and appreciate our work. See you in the next performance. Have a good day.